My excuse, my lords. My lords, in the debate today, we've heard powerful testimony of the impact of the pandemic on women. I should declare an interest as chair of the Equality and Human Rights Commission. At the Commission, we stand not only for women's rights, but for all those who experience discrimination. And with 9 protected characteristics, we have a lot in our hands. But today I want to speak specifically to our work on women. In this House recently, we passed the Ministerial and Other Maternity Allowances Bill, where the drafters of the bill decided to describe those to benefits from its very welcome provisions as persons rather than women or mothers. I mention this, my lords, as this is pertinent to our work at EHRC. At the Commission, it's becoming increasingly clear to us that the most contentious work that we have to do is with that critical issue of balancing different rights. And as we seek to reduce discrimination and sometimes even hate, we don't want to see one group pitted against another. But we're clear too that we mustn't shy away from difficult judgments of balance in the name of political correctness or appearing to be in one camp versus another. We stand for all the protected characteristics, but we also judge every policy issue on its merits and with guidance from the Equality Acts. Hence, we look forward to the review on the guidance of legislative language promised by the government in this regard. And we were very pleased with the successful amendments moved by Lord Lucas and Lord Winston, both I note who are speaking in the debate today, that successfully got the bill through this House satisfactorily. But turning to the impact of the pandemic, evidence so far, economic impact suggests it's likely to be very significant. Women already face a range of inequalities and barriers at work, and overconcentration in low-paid or part-time work, limited flexible working opportunities, and the majority responsibility for the majority of unpaid and often undervalued care work. While men have experienced more severe health outcomes and have faced greater unemployment, many lockdown restrictions, such as the closure of certain sectors and of schools and childcare settings, have particularly affected women's equality in the workplace. And the workplace is where I have the greatest concern for the future. If the statistics are correct as to the impact of a loss of women from the workplace, which is what survey evidence points us to, then that has grave implications well into the future. If we take key workers, ONS figures show that nearly 3/5 of all key workers in the UK are women at 58%. The IFS estimates that women were more likely to work across all the sectors that were shut down during the first national lockdown. And as of July last year, more women than men had been furloughed. Mothers were more likely to ask to be furloughed than men and found it harder than fathers to work productively at home. A TUC survey indicated that 71% of working mothers were refused furlough. There is evidence of potentially unlawful and discriminatory practices towards pregnant women and those on maternity leave as well. And research published on International Women's Day by The Guardian and Mumsnet found that more than half of women across the UK believe that women's equality is in danger of going back to the 1970s. So in our work as a regulator, we at EHRC will use our compliance and enforcement powers to carry out strategic as well as specific litigation to push back against any diminution of women's equality. And as an advocate, we'll campaign for improvements in women's welfare. We know that both are critical at this point